When people ask me why I'm a Democrat, I tell them this story. When I was a kid, my dream was to fly fighter jets in combat, but the law didn't allow women to do that. It wasn't until we elected a Democratic president with a Democratic Congress that the law was finally changed. That's when I learned it was Democrats who were most committed to giving everyone a chance to compete fairly on their own merits and talents. Even still, as a woman in the military, I've had to fight the establishment my entire career. It's why I'll fight so hard for equal pay and equal justice, affordable health care for all, real action on voting rights, and against corporate special interests like drug companies that charge way too much and then get people hooked on opioids. The system is broken. I'm Amy McGrath, and I approve this message because my life wouldn't have happened if Democrats hadn't given someone like me a shot. It's why I'll never stop fighting for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trish Takis, and I'd like to welcome you to Beaumont Family Dentistry at Hamburg. It is a privilege to introduce my son, Dr. Ryan Goliebersuch, and Dr. Katie Bowen. Our priority is to offer premium dental care by using the most advanced technology, including digital x-rays and cone beam, CEREC same-day crowns, implants, and fast braces and Invisalign. To ensure your comfort during your visit, we offer sedation, noise-reducing headphones, and of course, home-baked cookies. To learn more, visit BeaumontFamilyDentistry.com.
Just wanted to say thank you again for all the work you did for us to get our application through and funded for the SBA program. I've always known we were lucky to have a partner like you and Traditional Bank in our business, but seeing so many other peer businesses out there that were unsuccessful in the same process just shows me even more how great it is to have you all on our side at every step of the way.
This is why we're in business.
If I only had one message, it would be this. All law firms are not the same. Some can, some just can't. There's only one Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Keep up with breaking news on the go. Be sure to download the free LEX 18 app for your smartphone or tablet and stay in the know. LEX 18 News at 5:30 is next.
Count on LEX 18 News.
LEX 18 sits down with President Donald Trump for a one-on-one interview where he promised another round of stimulus checks. Plus, how one nonprofit is working to draw attention to racial inequities in education in Kentucky. And a Central Kentucky distillery that closed to visitors because of COVID-19 will open soon. You're watching LEX 18 News at 5:30. Good evening, I'm Angie Bevan.
And I'm Kevin Christopher. Thanks for joining us at 5:30. President Donald Trump made a pledge today that Americans will get another round of stimulus checks. It's one of several topics the president talked about with our Washington political correspondent, Joe St. George, including the question, does the president really want to slow coronavirus testing?
On Saturday night, you said that you told your staff to slow the testing down to improve the numbers. Does that mean someone watching this right now on their local news is not going to get a test because you asked your staff?
We do more testing than any country in the world by far, 25 million tests. Other countries do 1 million. Every time you do a test, as you do more tests, it shows more and more cases. So we're so far advanced, both in terms of the quality and the amount, and we're doing all these tests, and it shows cases. If other countries aren't doing, or if we did slow it down, we wouldn't show nearly as many cases.
But did you ask to slow it down?
If it did slow down, frankly, I think we're way ahead of ourselves, if you want to know the truth. We've done too good a job.
I have a lot of viewers in Florida, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, who are still struggling economically, sir. They spent all of that first stimulus check. Are you going to get them a second stimulus check?
Yeah, we are. Look, we had this
When are you going to get it?
We had this going better than anybody's ever seen before. We had the best job numbers, the best economics, the best economy we've ever had. And then we had the virus come in from China, and now we're rebuilding it again. We will be doing another stimulus package. It'll be very good. It'll be very generous. And
how much? How much? People want to know.
You'll find out about it. You'll find out.
When are you going to do it? When are you going to announce it?
I think over the next, I think it's going to be bipartisan. I think it's going to be over the next couple of weeks, probably.
This morning you tweeted about how mail-in ballots will be fraudulent. Any specific evidence? Where is the specific evidence that there are frauds?
Thousands of cases all over. Thousands. I don't like the
Specific
system. An example. All over the country you have thousands of cases. A friend of mine gets a ballot. His son unfortunately passed away 7 years ago. He gets a ballot for his son to vote. That's one case, but there are thousands and thousands of cases.
Of course, Secretary of States and other election officials do not believe that's the case. That was LEX 18's political correspondent, Joe St. George, reporting.
Father's Day, we saw some thunderstorms around. Those storms did bring needed rain. We've gone through most of your Monday without any, although we're going to show you the Max Track Live Doppler in a second. We've got one storm we're going to have to contend with. But looking from the Bluegrass Community and Technical College here at the UK campus, it's a mostly sunny afternoon. As we look across Lexington, not a bad afternoon at all. The one thunder shower that's in progress, it's a little cluster coming from the southwest. You come down into the southern part of Boyle County, back into northern Casey County, north of Liberty, and then you've got a little more robust rain falling just south of Kings Mountain there in Lincoln County. This is all pushing off to the east and northeast, so Stanford, you're going to get down a little bit. Highland area, you're going to see some as well. Future track from 7 o'clock, another line of storms will be coming out of southwestern Kentucky. By 9 o'clock, weakening as it moves across central Kentucky, but as we head toward midnight, another round, and that'll be with us through the early morning hours tomorrow. We get you then into the day tomorrow. A lot of clouds around to start, some showers. They'll be on the decrease, though, as we go through the day. Rainfall amounts pretty good over the weekend. We saw anywhere from a half to around 2/3 of an inch. Right now, temperatures running in the mid-80s. It's muggy, but it's going away. We'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes, Angie.
All right, Bill, thank you. A local nonprofit, the Pritchard Committee, says Kentucky's education system has failed black students. And through their series, Black Minds Matter, they hope to identify the reasons and potential solutions. LEX 18's Kristen Edwards has the story.
24, 28. The Pritchard Committee is demanding change for Kentucky's black students.
Our system is simply failing to deliver for too many African American students.
Through their week-long Black Minds Matter series, they plan to draw attention to the racial inequities in education. For example, data from 2019 shows a 32.5% gap between white and black students in terms of transition readiness.
We see the system break down over and over and over again in preparing these young people for success as they move throughout life.
The nonprofit's president and CEO, Bridget Blom-Ramsey, offered potential solutions, including requiring implicit bias and cultural competency training for all teachers.
What if we want?
She also said she'd like to see more diversity among staff.
Our African American students are not seeing teachers like them, are not seeing leaders that look like them. And that's a real problem as well.
She says the Pritchard Committee plans to be at the forefront, pushing for changes that are long overdue.
It's a win-win for us to get this right. It's a win for individuals. It's a win for communities. It's a win for our state overall.
Making our education system racially just and equitable. Kristen Edwards, LEX 18 News.
The Pritchard Committee will be discussing these issues and more solutions in their week-long series called Black Minds Matter. You can find a schedule of events plus how you can join a coalition to push for change on our website, lex18.com.
The Lexington Fayette County Health Department is offering new COVID-19 testing sites in the city. The department says coronavirus continues to spread among the Hispanic population. The new testing sites will be at Cardinal Valley Elementary from 9 to 1 on Thursday and 2 to 8 p.m. Friday. Testing will also be available from 9 to 3 Saturday at Valley Park on Cambridge Drive. Drive-ups and walk-ups are welcome. Meanwhile, Buffalo Trace in Frankfort has set a reopening date. They'll be welcoming guests back to the National Historic Landmark Distillery on July 1st. Visitors will be able to watch the distillery in action, but with new safety measures. Guests will be required to register for a tour or event in advance of their visit, and they'll be asked to wear a mask. Access to the grounds and playgrounds are only available for registered visitors. The distillery will be practicing social distancing by expanding the visitor center and the tasting rooms. Coming up, talks regarding nuclear weapons are underway between the United States and Russia in Vienna. Plus, a local artist takes to the sidewalks to recreate famous works of art and spread a little cheer. That's next at 5:30.
Welcome to Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice.
It's a busy day here at Court TV.
And it could go one way or the other.
You have to look at everything in this case.
He murdered our daughter. Did you take the hose and squeeze it?
Legal insight, expert analysis.
This is true crime all the time.
We continue our gavel-to-gavel coverage.
Jury selection is underway.
This is what I love to do.
July 4th savings start now at P-Rats. We're celebrating with up to $1,000 in bonus cash and up to 72 months low-interest financing with no money down. Finance $1,000 as low as $19 a month. Buy this reclining sofa and love seat for $14.99. Get the matching rocker recliner free. Get half-price local installation on the Bosch sanitizing dishwasher. Don't pay $6.99, just $4.49. Nobody does a July 4th sale like we do because
nobody beats P-Rats.
Tired of weekend projects taking too long or not having what you need on the job site? Since 1975, locally owned Bypass Rental has supplied landscapers, contractors, and weekend warriors with reliable equipment from brands like Steel, Toro, and more. Whether buffing the floors, trimming trees, moving dirt, sowing seeds, or providing portable restrooms, Bypass Rental has the right tool for the right job, serving Winchester, Richmond, and Georgetown, with a new location coming soon to Lexington. Visit Bypass Rental.
Some things can't be put on pause. Your checkups, your consults with specialists, your life-changing procedures. That's why we're adapting quickly to make our hospitals and clinics even safer for you, and to give you more convenient ways to connect with the care you need at Kentucky's #1 hospital. That's how we're meeting this moment for you and for the health of all Kentuckians. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
She's Kentucky's best chance to move on from Mitch McConnell. Polling shows Amy McGrath is the only Democrat who can win. She'll be everything Mitch is not. She won't rest until we have health care coverage for all, a $15 minimum wage. She'll be a champion for equal pay and equal justice, and she'll put an end to his decades of serving the special interests. Amy is how we finally move forward.
I'm Amy McGrath, and I approve this message.
Rain, and again, it was welcome rain for a lot of us. Your grass is saying thank you at this point. But we've been watching a couple of thunder showers this afternoon. We'll see more as we continue through the night. But for the moment, from the 21C Museum Hotel, downtown Lexington, you are looking out the St. Joseph Health WeatherBug camera at some little puffy cumulus clouds. You notice there's not a lot of vertical development to these. They're a little bit of a shear, and they've actually been moving along at a pretty decent clip as well. So there you go. But we do see some that are producing rain. As we head to the southwest on the MaxTrack Live Doppler, you've got one batch going through southern Lincoln County at this point. You folks are around Kings Mountain. You're getting in on that as it's crossing Highway 27 at this point. You've got another batch sitting here in northern part of Casey County that's trying to work its way up into the southern part of Boyle County. So tonight and tomorrow, it's a slow-moving front coming in, but there's a lot of tropical air out in front of it. The end result? We get some pretty good downpours if you get under one of those thunderstorms. But we get a break from the muggies middle of the week. That's always nice. And finally, for the weekend, what you're looking at is more heat and humidity coming back. Why? It's summer, and that's what happens. So again, a break you get from that mugginess. Enjoy. From the weekend, from the Kentucky Mesonet, kymesonet.org, pick out your favorite town. This was the weekend rainfall totals. You can see in the areas of green, that's where the rainfall was heaviest. Moorhead had almost 1 3/4 inch, inch out of McKee, 1.5 inches out of Richmond. Southern part of Fayette County had 1 2/10 inches, a little bit less officially, though, at the airport. Whitley City had a lot of rain, so did Somerset, but Barberville, you missed out on most of it. As we look ahead to rainfall coming in with tonight and tomorrow's system, a general 2/10 to about 1/2 inch of rain, but there will be some pockets where some of the downpours will drop down more rain than that. In the bigger picture, again, you see just the swaths of rain moving through not only the Tennessee Valley, but up through the Ohio Valley as well as an area of low pressure. Scoots from Indiana on up toward New York. In all that tropical moisture, you'll get your showers and thunderstorms, but then eventually things will scoot on off to the east. Future track from 7 o'clock, there is your next line of rain coming through. From 7 to 9, you watch it go away. Midnight, okay, the next batch of rain begins to advance in. By the early morning hours, the bulk of it is declining as well. By the time we get you into the day tomorrow, a couple more light to moderate showers pass through. Then the cold front passes through, and behind it, the winds shift to the northwest, and we start drying this air out as a batch of Canadian high pressure comes in. Big storms will continue on to our south. Don't have to worry about them. Big story, though, will be the decrease in the mugginess. Remember, when the dew points are in the 60s, it's humid. 65 and up is really when it's muggy. You see those high numbers into tonight and tomorrow morning. But as we work the way through the day tomorrow, that's a dramatic drop in the mugginess. And that's really how that cold front will make itself known. Because right now, you walk out the door, it is sticky and pretty warm. Low and mid-80s, temperatures right about normal. 83 south side of Lexington, 84 at the Bluegrass Airport, that dew point at 66. Southwest wind comes in at 14. And the Saharan dust layer continues to work its way across. It is significant, but it's also something that happens pretty much every year, but a little bit more of a northward drift could make for some very pretty sunsets here as we get toward the weekend. Close to 70 tonight, showers and thunderstorms with a muggy night. Tomorrow, the rain will be tapering off. Some sunshine late, close to 80. Close to 80, but a much less humid day on Wednesday. Thursday looks terrific. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rain chances return.
All right, Bill, thank you. Nuclear weapons talks between the United States and Russia got underway in Vienna today, with the two envoys making only guarded comments shortly before they met. Little's been said officially about the arms control negotiations, but the U.S. envoy has made clear they will be about nuclear weapons, suggesting they will include replacing START, the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, which expires in February. As he arrived with his delegation at a palace adjoining Austria's foreign ministry, the U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Arms Control was cautious when asked what he expected to come out of the talks. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin strongly hinted in an interview that he will run for president again. Putin said he had not ruled out running for another term, but in order to do so, he would need a series of amendments to pass in a July 1st referendum. Current Russian law requires Putin to step down in 2024. The amendments would potentially allow the 67-year-old to stay on as president until 2036. Former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton says the threat from North Korea is greater than when President Donald Trump took office in 2016. During an interview with ABC News, Bolton said he had no doubt that Kim Jong-un's regime is continuing to work on its nuclear and ballistic missile program, and he also criticized Trump's attempts at flattering the dictator. Bolton's new book also alleges that Trump and Kim did not want South Korean President Moon Jae-in to participate in talks. Today, South Korea's National Security Office said Bolton heavily distorted facts on inter-Korean diplomacy and warned those assertions could harm the U.S.-South Korea alliance. Not Angie Bevan in the newsroom with a very colorful story.
Kevin, an artist in Minnesota, is working to spread joy by recreating famous paintings with sidewalk chalk in her local parks. Heidi Wigdahl has the story.
We don't know how much time we have on Earth, but while we're here, it's fun. Rebecca Mazdi is choosing to fill her life.
I love this grade.
With every color.
Sometimes I think everyone has a particular style that they just get drawn towards, and for me it was always just Impressionism.
When the world came to know COVID-19, Rebecca started filling Minneapolis sidewalks and park pathways.
You're fantastic.
Thank you.
Your stuff is just fantastic.
Famous paintings put to pavement.
I feel like more people have been out these days than normal, which is, I think, kind of nice in a way that we're starting to lean more into nature to find that peace and that inner calm.
Her chalk paintings have popped up all across Minneapolis, mostly reproductions of classical works, but also of current conversations.
I think it's important for us to all use whatever tools we have to talk about issues like this.
It takes 2 to 3 hours to complete and lasts about 2 to 3 days. This painting, Haystacks by Monet, will most likely be gone in a day with the rain.
It's just here for today. We're only here for a brief period. I think having a reminder that our time is short and that we should be making meaningful choices.
Here for a moment, then gone. But for now, to be enjoyed.
That was Heidi Wigdahl reporting. Mazdi first fell in love with this type of art at a chalk painting festival in her hometown when she was in middle school. You can follow her creations on her Instagram page at REMO_creative. Still ahead at 5:30, KFC has unveiled an automated store with little human interaction. We'll show you how that works coming up next.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of Dr. Scott Cook on the urgency in treating a heart attack. Baptist Health Richmond. Be a healthier you.
We have a man, one of the most powerful men in the world. He's one of yours. There's nobody tougher. There's nobody smarter. He's rock-ribbed Kentucky leader, Mitch McConnell.
I think there's nobody that's done a better job ever than Senator Mitch McConnell.
President Trump and Mitch McConnell delivering for Kentucky.
I'm Mitch McConnell, and I approve this message.
I know that I've had hearing loss, and I put that off for many years. I ran into a very engaging Dr. Callio, and the discussion wasn't about selling hearing aids, really, but it was about hearing health. And it wasn't a pressure thing for hearing aids, but it really was a discussion about my hearing health and what taking care of that would look like and feel like. And I'm glad I did, because it made profound changes. It really kind of gave me some life back.
Quantrell Cadillac Sales and Service is here to keep you rolling. In addition to convenient hours and diligent cleaning at our dealership, we have enhanced drop-off and pickup for service and sales so you can have reliable transportation where you need it. When you need to get places, we are here for you. We have your back. QuantrellCadillac.com has details on home pickup and delivery, online appointments, and shopping tools. We can do paperwork and payments electronically. Quantrell Cadillac, here for you when you need to drive.
Arby's could make a new pecan chicken salad sandwich commercial last month, so we're running an old one. Update, the sandwich is still perfect and the blurry one doesn't exist. Arby's, we have the meats.
I run an athletic program at a youth detention facility.
It's motivating young people to make better choices in life.
Becoming a Titan will show them that anything's possible. I'm living proof that there's a way out.
It's quite emotional. The Titan Games tonight on NBC.
Special guest Eric Stonestreet drops by AGT for a head-turning, high-flying surprise.
My jaw was on this table.
Got Talent, Tuesday on NBC.
Have a news tip? Then call the LEX 18 News tip line.
Welcome back to LEX 18 News at 5:30. Ford and Fiat Chrysler started returning to pre-coronavirus production schedules at their U.S. plants today. The return of shifts is a major milestone for the automakers as they attempt to meet consumer demand for profitable pickups and SUVs. Ford started resuming vehicle production in the U.S. on May 18th with new coronavirus safety protocols. General Motors plans to return to full North American production levels by the end of June. The suspension of cruise line operations from ports in the United States has been extended until September 15th, of course, due to the pandemic. The voluntary move was agreed to by companies that are members of the Cruise Lines International Association. That's a leading trade group for the global industry. Members of the CLIA represent 95% of the world's cruise lines. The organization in a statement says it is increasingly clear that more time will be needed to resolve barriers before cruise operations can resume. KFC has unveiled what it calls a restaurant of the future. It's an automated store in Moscow where customers and employees barely interact. A robotic hand puts orders into a locked box. Customers use a code to get their meals, paying either with a bank card or by using biometric data. KFC said the restaurant was planned before the coronavirus pandemic. Google launches a competitor for Pinterest called Keen, and it's one of the biggest days in the tech industry. Jane King is in New York City with those stories and more in today's King Business Report.
Apple this week holds the first ever virtual version of its Worldwide Developers Conference, an annual event that began in 1987. This year's edition kicks off with Apple CEO Tim Cook's keynote later today. Now, this year's Worldwide Developers Conference is mostly a prelude to the bigger event that happens typically in September, which is the launch of the new iPhones. Well, the startup is rolling out automated weed cutters at a moment when COVID-19 has made farm work more dangerous for humans. The robots use cameras and machine vision to create a 3D map of a farm and tell weeds from commercial plants. With COVID-19 hitting migrant farm workers hard, these robots could be a safer option. And Google taking on Pinterest. Google is billing Keen, which is available on the web and on Android, as a way to share your passions with people, which basically means you can curate special little boards based on your interest. And Apple closing some of the various stores that had recently opened due to new spikes in COVID-19 cases. According to Bloomberg, 11 Apple stores located in Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, and South Carolina are once again temporarily closed due to the virus. The company's decision comes amid increases of cases in those states. From New York, I'm Jane King with your Tech Report.
LEX 18 News at 5:30 continues in 2 minutes, but first, let's take a look at the day on Wall Street.
I'm Charles Booker, and I'm running for United States Senate, and I approve this message.
Have you been on the ground in Louisville with the protesters the last 3 days, Ms. McGrath?
I have not.
And why?
Well, I've been with my family, and I've had some family things going on.
I stand before you as your brother, as your cousin, as your neighbor, as your fellow good troublemaker. My name is Charles Booker.
We asked real customers what they really love about Spectrum Internet and TV.
Spectrum Internet has the fastest speeds for everything I do.
There is no turning wheel. It's immediate.
Spectrum is the fastest. Bam.
Get the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance with Spectrum Internet, delivering starting speeds of 100 megabits. That's more than enough for all your devices for $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
I can't get over how much on-demand Spectrum has. I can literally watch a new movie every night.
I got all my shows, and he's got all his shows.
With the Spectrum TV app, I can watch live TV anywhere. It's perfect.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on-demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go, all from $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
The fact that they don't have contracts, that says a lot about their service.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Install Spectrum services yourself. Get a self-installation kit shipped right to your home. Call 833-906-4499.
After an accident or an injury, you might visit a law firm's website where they showcase their verdicts and results. Problem is, many times it's a lie. You see, there are lawyers out there that I fired who list verdicts as their own when all they did was carry my top lawyer's trial bag. It would be as if the New York Yankees bat boy claimed he won the World Series. You only have one day in court. Make it count. There's only one Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Tonight on Evening Edition, out-of-work Kentuckians make a desperate plea to Governor Beshear for some resolution to their unemployment claims. Plus, how one teen's struggle is inspiring others during the COVID-19 pandemic. Tonight at 7 on Evening Edition. You're watching LEX 18 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. Some businesses are charging customers more to cover the extra costs of operating during the coronavirus pandemic, but not without some backlash. Chris Clackham has our report.
Restaurants are adding COVID surcharges to your bill because they say they're paying more too.
Filet prices, our ribeye, and most of our customer steak, even our shrimp now is starting to become doubled in price.
Some customers say that's okay.
I mean, I can see how surcharges would be a great way to recoup some of their losses.
But not everyone's buying into hair salons, dental practices, even golf courses, tacking on a surcharge to make up for extra cost during the COVID crisis.
It's another greedy hand in my pocket, which I have enough from other taxes and surcharges and reasons, convenience fees that are far from convenient.
And if I saw that surcharge on the receipt, then I wouldn't pay a tip at all.
Indeed, some retail analysts say it could backfire.
I think that a lot of businesses are going to run into hot water with their customers when they add these surcharges, because a lot of times it's a surprise. It feels like a gotcha.
The travel industry, already notorious for surcharges, is expected to join in.
I don't know if they'll actually call it a COVID charge because hotels and airlines are desperately trying to get people not to think about COVID when traveling.
Many businesses say they have no choice and promise to drop surcharges as soon as they can.
If my next truckload, the prices come down, it's going to come down.
Come down, or customers will likely shop elsewhere. Chris Clackham, NBC News.